Are we in a Christmas mood?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel very festive. The energy doesn't feel very upbeat.
I just finished playing you Jingle Bells on the Glockenspiel. How much more Christmassy could it be?
I didn't recognize the song.
Fuck you.
Starbane's Avenue.
Coming to you live from our houses in Los Angeles, California, it's Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone, your comedy field guide to life. Tonight, it's our Christmas show and time for a holiday tradition. Paula and I have picked out a movie to review. Tonight, we examine Gremlins to let you know if you should see the new film Wonder Woman 1984. Plus, Bonnie Burns and Tony Anita Hall team up for another group report. This time, for Christmas, they'll dig into the North Pole. It's the Burns-Hull Report, your definitive guide to information that is not definitive. I'm Adam Felber, the man who every week tries to keep conversational gremlins from infecting this show by keeping a tight lid on our topical mogwais. And now, please welcome the Wonder Woman of our podcast, who throws every topical gremlin into the deep end of the pool where they reproduce at will, Paula Poundstone. Welcome, Paula.
Thank you so much. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
So festive.
Santa? Santa, is that you?
Have you been a good girl, Paula Poundstone?
I've been fantastic. So the last Christmas dinner that I had with my
before
parents.
I let you do that, Paula.
Oh.
Don't you want to welcome a band? Somebody's going to be on the naughty list.
I do, Santa. Thank you.
Santa heard a major fuck up there.
Thank you, Santa, and pardon me. Hey, it's me, Paul Poundstone. Hi, Adam, and thanks to tonight's house band, returning champion on viola, Kristen Lejeune of the Lejeunes. She's from Lejeune. It's Mrs. Lejeune's youngest.
Yes, indeed. Okay, I'm sorry. You were saying, Paula, something about gifts.
No, because, all right, so the last time that I had a dinner with, my parents and their offspring, it was with our old neighbors, the Rosses. I was a young adult. I mean, I might have been maybe 18, something like that.
Okay.
And the Rosses were very religious, and so we said grace at the beginning of the meal, and everyone had, bowed their head to say the grace. And before... like in that moment of silence, just before Mr. Ross began the prayer, my mother went, Paula, be quiet. And I wasn't saying anything. It was just such a sort of knee-jerk response. That's just how she addressed everything with Paula, be quiet. Just everything. She said that. And so there was this moment of silence, and I think she felt like I was somehow going to fuck it up or something. Like I was going to, like just before Mr. Ross could begin the prayer, I was going to leap in with like a knock-knock joke or something. Something like that. Bonnie, didn't someone say on Facebook that they were just sick of the knock-knock jokes?
Well, most people said they loved the knock-knock jokes. But
that's not what I asked you.
No, I needed to preface it because most people said they really loved the knock-knock jokes. But one guy said that he loved listening to our show while he was working out. And will we please stop telling the knock-knock jokes, because that was one part that he wasn't enjoying while he was working out. And he would think to himself, could they just get through the knock-knock jokes? And then he said, even though I love you, Bonnie.
You know what? I just want to say to that guy, your workout is not our responsibility. But what I said to you, Bonnie, I said to you, wasn't there someone on Facebook who said, could you guys stop with the knock-knock jokes? And you said, well, most people said blah, 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 which made me really think, have you ever taken the written DMV test?
Well, why would you ask that? But I don't get the connection. Why
because
would you ask that?
I just don't see how you could get through it. It would
Yeah.
say like, do you stop at the red light? Do you drive through the red light? Do you increase your speed at the red light? And you would say, well, most people, but when do you see what I'm saying? Like he didn't, it was such a simple and direct question. Wasn't there a guy who said that?
No, I wanted to make myself look good
Good thinking.
because I was the one telling the knock-knock jokes.
True enough.
And people liked them. So I wanted to throw in but then he said he liked me. So
Yeah.
I wanted to come off well in the story.
No, that's good. You really have come off well.
All right. Paula, we're starting a new tradition this year. I'm pretty excited about it.
What is it?
Well, we're going to do our first ever Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone Secret Santa gift exchange.
Oh, right. I almost forgot.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I'm
gonna
so
be
excited.
really fun. Here's what we decided to do. We've all secretly gone out and bought someone else a gift, and now we're just gonna take turns and present that person with the gift that we bought them.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Paula?
Yeah, I am.
It sounds like you might have completely forgotten this. Do you need a minute to run outside for a second?
I'm just looking around the room to see what I can wrap. Yeah, let me, geez. Yeah. Okay,
All right,
yeah.
we won't start with you, Paula. We won't
that's
start
good.
with you.
That's good. How could I have forgotten? I'm so sorry.
This is the weirdest thing. Okay, so in that case, let's go to Sherman Oaks, California.
No,
We'll go
I
to
don't
Tony
wanna
Need a Home.
start. You start.
You have
Oh
to
my
start.
God.
Okay, I'll start. Nobody thought of anything, did they?
No, I have
all right,
something. I just don't want to start.
Here's my gift. All right,
Yeah.
I'll start. Bonnie Burns, I chose you as my Secret Santa recipient. And if you open the package in front of you, you'll see the first issue. I bought you 3 magazine subscriptions. If you open that package, you'll see.
Let me see.
You now are a subscriber to Popular Crinkles, Sonic Annoyance Quarterly, and Extraneous Noise Aficionado.
Adam.
Which is a great one. You might see the cover story there is 7 food and mouth sounds guaranteed to drive him mad. So you'll be receiving those every month this year, except for Sonic Annoyance Quarterly, which obviously comes out 4 times a year.
That is so
Wow.
nice of you.
That's a beautiful
much.
gift.
You're welcome, Bonnie.
That was
Merry
really
Christmas.
nice of you to think of me. Thank you.
You're welcome, Crinkle. We love you. All right, let's
thanks so much.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
Oh,
All right,
Tony's
Tony
ready.
Hall in Sherman Oaks, California. Who is your Secret Santa recipient, and what did you get them?
Well, it's awkward because I also chose Bonnie. But
What?
well, yeah.
Gosh, really?
So mine's gonna.
Okay.
I don't know if it's been delivered. It's rather large, so I hope you have a place for it. I know you love the Seahawks, so I got you
I did.
life-size cutouts of all the Seahawks shirtless because I also know you like their bodies. So I thought it's something to go with the lubricant and nipplegasms. Merry Christmas.
Oh my God, that is so cool.
Wow.
And I'm putting it in my living room where you guys know that I still sleep on the couch and don't go up to the bedroom.
Oh,
That is the coolest. Thank you so much.
You're
it's a
welcome.
really nice gift, Tony. It's a very
Really
nice gift that I
nice.
never want to see in person.
I'll post photographs.
I forgot that I mailed it already, and I don't. It says right on it, "Don't open till Christmas." So you probably haven't opened it yet, Bonnie. But
Who?
I got you.
You?
Bonnie. I got Bonnie. Oh my gosh, did we all do Bonnie?
I think we all did Bonnie.
Oh,
we could have
for
planned this
heaven's
better.
sakes.
I'm
Oh,
so
this-
embarrassed, you guys.
I got you. Well, it's a gift. It's a gift basket. I got you a bag of rice because, tough times. But the amazing thing about the rice is that on each grain of rice, I've written with a teeny pen, "Do not put in your ear."
That's really
And-
nice.
Yeah, and on the off chance that you don't read it, I also got you an ear Frida.
Oh, an ear Frida. Not as popular an item as the nose Frida or the butt Frida, but in Bonnie's case, it could be coming very handy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to be careful with it, of course, but yeah, and I also got you a copy of that new book. Say what?
Well, I think we've all learned a valuable lesson about why they actually draw names out of a hat for Secret Santa usually, because
Yeah, no, I thought it was. Oh my God, we are not good at like office celebrations, especially
No.
since the pandemic. I want the listeners to know that a lot of podcasts they take Christmas off, but not us. We wanted you guys to have, it's so depressing over the holidays when the mail doesn't come on some days, and we wanted to be there for you as much as we could. But this holiday stuff, we're not good at it as a company, I think.
no, we blew the Thanksgiving potluck, and now we've blown Secret Santa because the only person to get a present was Bonnie. However, I do want to point out that we still haven't gone around the horn to Bonnie Burns. So unless she went ahead and bought herself a present, somebody else is getting the Christmas present. So at least we have that going for us. Bonnie, what did you get, and for whom?
Okay. I thought you guys said I was supposed to get one for somebody named Cynthia.
Yes.
So
No.
when I was on Chewy
Bonnie, we
ordering
don't
the
work.
cat litter,
We don't
I
work with
saw
anyone
this
named
great-
Cynthia.
no, I thought you said something about get a gift for. There was somebody named Cynthia.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
What's
but-
in your
So I
ear?
was on Chewy and I ordered like a dog toy.
We're
You ordered a
small
dog
enough-
toy for some random person named Cynthia?
We're-
What did
No,
the-
it's this thing, Jolly Ball, and it's indestructible.
do
But
we-
Bonnie,
So-
we're a small enough organization that we don't have. There's like nobody on the third floor that we haven't met yet. It's just us.
Wait a second. Didn't you guys say get a gift for Cynthia?
I didn't
And
say
Bonnie
it.
will get a gift
No.
for Cynthia?
Paula might have said that a gift idea might be a forsythia.
No.
I could have sworn that's what you said.
And you
Well,
got her
you
a
put
dog
things in
toy?
No, because
All right. Well,
I
Cynthia,
don't
if you're
know.
out there, enjoy your dog toy.
it's indestructible. It's indestructible.
Well, you know what?
tell
Like
you
the
what.
Who's in Whoville, we don't need gifts to welcome Christmas to our place. So, congratulations,
Wahoo, wahoo,
Cynthia.
Wahoo, wahoo.
Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes
No,
Santa Claus.
Here's something I know about myself after years of watching and of the Grinch Who Stole Christmas and also reading it to my children. I am really fucking disappointed when they wake up in the morning and there are no presents. And I don't think going outside and holding hands and singing in a circle is in any way the same thing. I
agree with you. I just watched it with my daughter, and she gave me this look when they woke up, like, "What's the matter with these people?"
yeah.
I think Vivi was hoping for that it would right after that become like a Rambo style revenge flick.
Yeah, no, you know what?
Like one of the Who's just straps on a lot of ammunition and heads up the mountain.
Yeah, they all get torches. Come on, let's get that prick bastard. Let's get our...
Merry Christmas to you, Grinch. Blam, 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 blam.
Let's get our Wahoo Winklers back. Come on.
You know, I was just kidding. I got you guys all a $5,000 bonus check out of Paula's account.
No, that's fantastic, and it really explains.
Right, and I got you a pony.
Yeah, and you know what? I heard some hoof steps outside earlier. No, that's great that you got us all bonus checks from my account. That's fantastic, and that certainly explains why my card was rejected earlier today.
I always use that we when I'm talking to people. I go, we'd really like to comp you 2 tickets. We really wish that you would blah, blah, blah.
Well, in lieu of this withdrawal from my account, I feel like an asshole, but can I have some of that rice back?
Wait, I have to go
Paula.
read something on the green.
It's got ink on it.
It doesn't matter.
rice.
You boil it. It comes off. It's all right.
Oh, my
God. The ink is good for you. It's edible ink.
I promise everybody we'll have this whole thing fixed by next Christmas. All right, G.K. Chesterton wrote, Christmas is built upon a beautiful and intentional paradox that the birth of the homeless should be celebrated in every home. We'll celebrate Christmas by talking about Gremlins next on Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone.
Everlane isn't like most clothing brands, and not just because they bypass traditional retail markups. They partner with the world's most ethical factories to make quality clothing with radically transparent pricing. Sustainability is literally woven into every piece of fabric Everlane uses, from natural fibers to recycled synthetics.
I kind of love it, Paula, because on the one hand, you get all the information you need about where this stuff comes from, and the stuff is good. I ordered some clothes for both me and Jeannie on Everlane. Jeannie got this cashmere sweater that was ethically sourced, and it's fantastically soft. And I am right now, as I'm talking to you, wearing an incredibly comfortable pair of blue jeans that I got on Everlane.
So if you're searching for the perfect pair of jeans, the kind you wear all week and hope no one notices, Everlane is it. All made from certified organic cotton at the world's cleanest denim factory with 0 landfill waste. Let me repeat that, 0 landfill waste.
Very important. Everlane has all the everyday essentials you need for this winter, from damn good denim to super soft loungewear, and I've bought both. Shop cold weather accessories, comfy base layers, lightweight activewear, and so much more.
Go to everlane.com/Paula and sign up for 10% off your first order plus free shipping and get easy returns within 60 days of your ship date. That's 10% off your first order when you go to everlane.com/Paula and sign up. Okay, it's December, which means we can officially start watching Christmas movies. But what if you go to Netflix and discover your favorite Christmas movie isn't available? Get ready to have your mind blown. You can use ExpressVPN to watch any Netflix library in the world.
And that became practically a thing this week, Paula, because as you know, we're reviewing Gremlins, right? To see if anybody wants to watch Wonder Woman 1984. Well, I used ExpressVPN to stream Gremlins on French Netflix. It was so simple. I just opened the app, hit one button to change my location, refreshed Netflix, and that was it. There you go, Gremlins.
So you can actually watch Gremlins on the lam. See, ExpressVPN lets you control where you want sites to think you're located. You can choose from almost 100 countries. So just imagine all the Netflix libraries you can explore. And of course, it's not just Netflix. ExpressVPN works with any streaming service. Disney+, Hulu, BBC, iPlayer, Paula's streaming service, you name it.
The Poundstone streaming network, PSN. You could stream that through this. There are hundreds of VPNs out there, but the reason I choose ExpressVPN to watch movies and shows is because it is absurdly fast. There's never any buffering, and you can always stream in high definition. ExpressVPN works with all your devices too, including phones, tablets, media consoles, and those smart TVs. So you can use it to watch whatever you want on the go or on the big screen.
If you visit my special link right now, expressvpn.com/Poundstone, you can get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. Support the show, watch what you want, and get your holiday fix at expressvpn.com/Poundstone. On this day in unremarkable history, Jesus' neighbors said, "Jesus, Mary, and Joseph." No, not you. It's an expression.
Thank you, house band Kristen Lejeune. Paula, we have a tradition here. Around the holiday times is when we really like to review movies to let you know whether you should see a movie that's about to come out in the theaters or for home video. And this year, we have decided to review Gremlins.
That's right.
Can you explain that to our listeners, please?
Because there's a release of the movie Wonder Woman, the new movie Wonder Woman 1984, and Gremlins was made in 1984. So we watched Gremlins. I watched it just last night, just to refresh my memory, so that we can tell you whether you should watch Wonder Woman 1984.
So here's a capsule recap of Gremlins for those of you who haven't seen it. Billy Peltzer is a sweet young man in an idyllic American town filled with Christmas cheer and bumbling idiots. Billy receives an adorable, magical creature for Christmas, along with 2 simple rules to follow for safety. Wear a mask and practice social distancing. I'm sorry.
No, that wasn't it.
Yeah, that wasn't it. The rules are don't get the creature wet, which he promptly does, and don't feed it after midnight, which he also does. In no time, Billy's idyllic town is overrun with malevolent little reptilian monsters who immediately indulge in some of humanity's favorite behaviors: murder, binge drinking, and hilarious racial stereotyping. Together with his new girlfriend, Billy must figure out a way to rescue his town from the gremlin pandemic, which, by the way, originated in China, but thanks to civic irresponsibility, got much, much worse in the United States. Ta-da!
That sums it up. That's good. You know what? Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. Gremlins is an hour. How long was it? Hour 40? Hour and 40-minute marketing ploy. Heidi is going to hate it.
Yeah, Heidi, of course, our listener who feels like we do too much promotion, and you're right. Gremlins was a promotion not just for Gremlins toys, but for everything to do with Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, it was also a product placement palooza. Now, Christopher Columbus, I guess, wrote the screenplay, and the story goes that Steven Spielberg thought it was one of the most creative things he had ever read. That's how the story goes, anyways. I think Spielberg liked the screenplay because there is homage after homage after homage to Spielberg. There's a billboard for a radio disc jockey using an Indiana Jones motif. The Gremlins hide among some plush toys in the department store, and one of the plush toys is E.T. Christopher Columbus's Gremlins screenplay was to Steven Spielberg what Bill Barr's unsolicited memo on the authority of the presidency was to Trump.
Yeah. It was. What's the delicate term I'm looking for here? Is it blowjob?
Yeah, I think that is the delicate. I don't know how Spielberg could have thought it was so original. The whole time I was watching, I kept thinking, it's the tropiest time of the year. It just had thing after thing that we've seen before. But I'll tell you what we haven't seen before, even in older movies, is snow that doesn't move. There's a scene where he's getting out of a Volkswagen Bug, the hero is, his car, and he slams the door and no snow falls off. It literally...
Yeah, it was like a perma-snow.
Yeah. It was like a Houston woman's hair in the 70s. It just didn't move at all. I think that the part that I hated most, and there's a lot to hate here.
I actually liked the movie. I mean, there's a lot to hate, but I liked the movie in general.
No, I will never forgive.
Just no, huh?
I will never forgive the needless romance story woven loosely into the script. It's just the girlfriend has no.
Phoebe Cates, played by Phoebe Cates.
I don't know who that is. I think her name in the movie. He called her Milk Toast, I believe. There was no discernible charm to her and no chemistry. Although, come to think of it, there was none for Billy either. They're perfect for each other. The dialogue between the two of them was absolutely painful. So remember the part, Adam, when they're walking home in the fake snow among Christmas lights.
Right, that's when he asks her out on a date. He walks her home from school or something, and he asks her out on a date at the end. Yes.
No, it was dark. It wasn't school unless it was adult ed. That's the other thing. You couldn't really figure out.
It might have been. They're not actually school kids. You're right.
Yeah.
They're young adults working.
They're young adults working, but not working very well. He works at the bank and he brings his fucking dog. You don't bring your dog to the bank. And then we're supposed
And
to
she's a bartender.
Yeah, she's a bartender and she brings her lice. You don't bring your lice to the bar. I don't know. There was something about her that I just really didn't like. But for one thing, there was a genre of female lead there for a while that always had some kind of deep, dark secret and angst. And to me, they were just sort of miserable and not fun to watch. So they're walking home. There's Christmas lights and fake snow. And Billy, who is supposedly a young adult, appears to be unfamiliar with the idea of holiday depression. Whereas
it's a very happy town.
Whereas Milk Toast is the poster child for holiday depression. She actually says of people who get depressed at the holidays during their conversation, she says, while everyone else is opening up their presents, they're opening up their wrists.
That was dark. I'll give you that.
What holiday song is that from? Is that a Burl Ives hit? I don't know that one. Or Holly Dolly Jolly, holiday favorite? Opening up their wrists. Who talks like that?
Have a holly killy Christmas. Yeah. Well, she's depressed with the holidays. There was around this love story some sort of plot involving monsters. We can talk about that or not.
What do you mean a plot? There was a plot involving monsters. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's another thing.
There's that lovable Mogwai Gizmo, and he gets wet and he multiplies, and then you've got meaner Gizmos basically, and then they eat chicken after midnight and they turn into these pod people. These reptiles.
Here's the thing. You can, from the and I remember when I first saw the film years ago, I did think the Magua thing was kind of cute. But I watch it now and all I can see is the doll that they're going to sell. And I know that Heidi is with me right now. But the other thing is, they keep making it, throughout the film, they keep making it have a runny nose. And, as a parent, I got to say, the one thing that's not cute about your kid is their runny nose. It's, that sort of glazed donut look is not cute. But apparently, whoever did the puppets had really bad allergies. And so they would just sort of drip onto the puppets. And you would think that little Magua Gizmo had so much, well, shall we say drainage, that if he gets wet, he reproduces. That's why you find out they weren't supposed to get him wet, as if he gets wet, he reproduces. So why didn't his runny nose cause other Mogwai to pop up his upper lip?
You know what? That's a reasonably good question.
Yeah.
Here's something that you might not have known.
Line.
Gizmo's voice, Howie Mandel.
Yeah. Yeah, he was born to play him.
Got to say bright light and things.
Yeah, when you say Gizmo's voice, that was the other weird thing, is they spoke English.
Yeah.
The Magua, which came from China, the father who presents this pet to his young adult son got it from Chinatown. And, from a place of very authentic Chinese things and an authentic Chinese man. Well, really, he stole it from him.
He stole it. He stole it from a very kind of suspiciously authentic, and I'm putting authentic in quotes, Chinese man, to the point where he's literally like a Mandarin with a big beard and robes and speaks in a halting Chinese accent.
Yeah. Let me just say, he did he did more than he's been on Kung Fu before, that actor.
I don't think you're wrong about that.
Oh, I know I'm right.
So
about
in
that.
any.
Yeah, and I believe he may have been in MASH as well, because I'll speak for myself. I cannot tell different Asian backgrounds apart. And apparently there's enough of us that fall into that category that they've been able to get away with this for years. Lord knows what the man's actual heritage is, but he's played both North Korean, South Korean, and Chinese. So I don't know.
It's a varied career, but at least he's genuinely Asian as opposed to John Wayne as Genghis Khan.
Oh yeah, yeah. who went on eventually to be Genghis Khan in the movie where he played the Irish guy.
Right. Oh, the quiet one. Yes.
Yeah,
the
Genghis
quiet guy,
Khan,
the
very
quiet
popular.
man. Yep.
All right, okay. So the girl Milquetoast with the dark story.
Phoebe Cates.
So at one point, the town has been ravaged by these reptilian creatures that
Gremlins.
Adam described. These
Sure.
gremlins. People have been killed. The Billy's mother has been attacked. The science teacher. This was one of my favorite parts. Billy takes one of the replicated Mogwai to his science teacher in his high school, his former high school.
That's right.
Like, that guy is going to be able to determine the origins and behaviors of this creature. He's a high school science teacher. The truth is, Adam, you said it was a happy little town. I thought there were all sorts of signs of depression in the town. Financial depression. I think there was a through line there of people, like there was a lot of drinking in that bar and people had proposed to their mates in that bar. There was a sense of, sort of a Pittsburghian, maybe a town that had an industry that had moved away or something. There was a feeling about that.
I guess there's some of that. I mean, obviously housing prices aren't exactly through the roof in that town because Billy's dad is an incredibly unsuccessful inventor, and yet they've got a really nice house.
Yeah, you know what I think? I think there's a backstory that they didn't talk, because they kept showing like the dad had invented all these things that were not good, and so they were failed. All these appliances that they had in their house that didn't work right. But the dad must have gotten something right like years before. You know what I mean? Like fake vomit, something. He must have done something
Post-it
that
notes.
really took off. And then just could never get it back again. Just kept near missing.
He was coasting on that. But you're right. The town was kind of depressive. There was the town drunk was also the town racist. Some World War II vet who.
Well, that was the one they focused on. There may have been more there. He was the one that the story that got told. But here's what I think. I think all the town's money went into the high school science department because they must have had a goddamn UC Davis over there. The idea that he would bring this creature to the science teacher, who, by the way, in like the next scene, takes out a syringe to draw blood from the Mogwai. Well, where does he have a blood testing lab in a high school? And where does he get a syringe with a needle in it in a high school? I think he probably got it from some of the students. But he
quite possible. Yep.
He had no business having it. I'll tell you that.
He eventually got it in the end, as it were. Because he was one of the first victims of once those Mogwais mutate into gremlins. And, by the way, after they mutate are two of my favorite scenes in the movie. There's the mom defending her kitchen, which is genuinely funny. She puts one in a blender. She puts one in the microwave, like that urban legend about the dog in the microwave, and it explodes.
She puts one at him in the way back of the refrigerator, and she finds it months later. but it's
Past
it's
its
kind of limp
expiration
and
date.
it smells bad. Yeah, it's not entirely dead.
And then there's that scene in the bar where Phoebe Cates, who you refer to as Milk Toast, the gremlins are now killing everybody in town that they can. But for some reason, not only are they inhabiting this bar, but she's serving them as though they're regular customers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Milk,
love that. She's
Milk
like
Toast did
pouring
do
them
that.
beer and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's trying to keep them happy. You know, she'll do anything for a tip. She's yeah, there was that. All right, so after there's been all sorts of, killing and destructive mayhem, and now for some reason they go to the bank. I have no idea why they go to the bank. And again, there's, things are thrown everywhere, glass is broken. These scary gremlins have been there. And Billy's like looking around for, I don't know what, some sort of, clues to the mystery. And now is the worst part of the movie when Milk Toast, the girlfriend.
I know where you're going here.
Milk Toast explains that the reason she hates Christmas, and she's very bitter. She feels that people who hate Christmas should have equal rights to people who don't. She tells a story of how her father went missing when she was younger, and the cops couldn't find him. And then one night, she went to make a fire in the fireplace and noticed a bad smell. And they found her father stuck in the chimney in a Santa suit with a sack full of toys, and that his body was decaying.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she says something about like now I have another reason to hate Christmas.
Oh yeah, right. Then now she piles this gremlin experience onto her dad being stupid enough to actually get inside the chimney. He couldn't look down there and see it wasn't going to fit him, let alone a sack of toys. How delusional was he?
Yeah.
It's just not.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe around Easter we should do Gremlins 2, because that takes place with an Easter theme, and the girlfriend in that hated Easter because her father had dressed up in a bunny suit and gotten fucked to death by real bunnies. You know how they fuck.
No, like bunnies.
Exactly.
Basically.
Very dangerous in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
What is it you like about the movie again? You tell me.
I just think it's a kind of a fun 80s mix of, grisly humor and kind of Spielberg small town, magical bullshit. I am entertained by a lot of those scenes that you think are stupid. I think they're kind of funny. Like all the gremlins getting blown up in that movie theater, I thought was great. And the kind of horrifying thing of that guy, that stripy gremlin, you think you've almost eliminated all the reptilian ones, and that guy and the stripy one runs to the high school and jumps in the swimming pool. I mean, that's great monster movie stuff.
Yeah. It's still, the whole thing was just a tribute to, just before the last, they do finally, they kill all the gremlins, and the last gremlin to die is this evil leader gremlin that they call Stripe. And
Because he's a mohawk.
Yeah. And the last thing he says before he dies is, "You sure can make a great film, Mr. Spielberg."
So, Paula, based on your recent viewing of Gremlins, should our listeners go see or stay home and see Wonder Woman 1984?
No, absolutely not. It's a bad omen. The 1984 thing, very bad omen. Yeah. What do you think?
I would say you should stay home, drop down your own chimney, and watch Wonder Woman 1984 when it comes out.
Yeah. Think about how many people
What
you
could
just
possibly go wrong?
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say stay away from Wonder Woman 1984, and whatever you do, don't watch Gremlins again.
All right. Coming up next, the Burns Hull Report. This week, they cover the North Pole. Their report on Santa's whimsical family home with a backyard full of wonders, including a spacious reindeer barn, a wine collector's paradise, and featuring a live-in staff of merry little creatures who are not gremlins. That's coming up right after this. Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? Bonnie. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. The service is available for clients worldwide, and you can start communicating in under 48 hours.
Now, it's not a crisis line. It's not self-help, which would be useless for me. It's professional counseling done securely online. There's a broad range of expertise available, which may not be locally available in many areas. You can log into your account anytime and send a message to your counselor.
You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions so you won't ever have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room as with traditional therapy. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change counselors if you ever need to.
It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. It's not going to be January forever.
Visit BetterHelp.com/Paula. That's better, H-E-L-P, and join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional.
In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. Special offer for Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone listeners. Get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/Paula.
The cat of the week is Fred Astaire from Davis, California. Phyllis Diller sent out Christmas cards that read, "Money's scarce, times are hard, here's your fucking Christmas card." Stay tuned for more Christmas cheer on Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. Fun fact, no number before 1,000 contains the letter A. But if you say them with an absurd Italian accent, they all do. And now you get it. Here we go. 1, a 2, a 3. Okay. And we're back. Now, Paula, I'm very excited tonight, and I know you are too, and it's not just because of the pitter-patter of reindeer hooves we're about to hear.
No, I'm very excited. It's the Hull, the Burns Hull, the Hull Burns report.
The Hull Burns report. Now, a couple of weeks ago, Bonnie Burns and Tony Anita Hull did a group report on Iceland to let us know what goes on in Iceland so we can attract some listeners there. And that report was a runaway success. Listeners keep writing in about it. They never stop. I mean, it's sweeping the nation. So we've decided to create the Burns Hull report, God help you, Tony, as a continuing feature. And this week they're doing a report on the North Pole.
You know, we've gotten a lot of handwritten letters about the Burns Hull report as well, I think. But because President Trump put DeJoy in there and he fucked up the mail, they just haven't arrived yet. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of handwritten posted letters about
it. Was a
Burns
runaway
Hull.
Sensation. Absolutely. And it brings back the group reports from school from years gone by. Doesn't it, Tony? Bonnie, does it feel like it used to in school when you did group reports?
Well, you know, the whole idea of this group report was me complaining about how stupid it was in high school when you had to do a group report and then one person never carried the weight and another person had to do the whole thing. And then, your grade was determined by the whole group and how frustrating it was. And I just found out my daughter's in college now and they have to do a group report in college. And I think that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Because first of all, you're in college. How does anybody get together in college when they're all doing different things? But the other thing is, I thought the whole point of a group report, like in high school, was so they got to know each other. Who
I don't
cares
think
in
that's what
college?
it's for.
No.
In fact, when my son was in maybe middle school or maybe it was elementary school, I can't remember anymore, he had to do a group report, and he was not a great student. But I got to say, one day, he gets on the phone and he calls the other girls in his group, because I think it was all girls. He calls the other girls in his group and he schedules for them to get together at our house and work on their project. And I was so impressed. I said to him, I go, of everything that you've learned in school, what you just did there is probably the thing that you will use the most. Scheduling, coordinating other people's schedules, getting the phone number, right? Being the person sort of pushing the agenda a little bit. These are adult skills that you use in a group report. Whereas I think so much that I don't think it was so that you could get to know each other when you were in high school. I mean, unless they gave it to you on the first day, Bonnie. When did you do your group report in high school?
You know what? I mean, I don't remember doing a group report in high school because we would have thought that was below us. Like, get together in a group and do a report. Like, we would have been like, that would have been like so stupid.
Wait a minute. Wait, Bonnie, did you go to that school, Uppity High?
Like, honestly, in Seattle, like, why would we do what they tell? Like, no, we wouldn't do that. We didn't carry umbrellas in Seattle. We thought that was below us.
Well, I think that's below anybody.
But I do want to point out the lion's share of stuff that you do in your professional life later in life is in groups, including almost all science.
Like, it's like not wearing a name tag at a, group thing. Like, I'm above a group report. I'm not doing a group report. I'm not wearing the name tag, so you can see my name.
Well, I used to not like name tags, but I really do now. I used to never want to wear a name tag when I went to something, and now I'm like, you know what? Let me at those name tags. Because I can't remember. Because I can't remember people. I make my kids wear name tags. I can't remember people's names. Everybody, if we were recording back in the studio together, all of us together, I would insist that you guys all wear name tags. Absolutely.
That's a reasonable request.
You don't think the group report was a dumb, stupid way that the teachers had of trying to get the kids to meet one another?
No.
Not most of them. It was, and Bonnie, I think it's worth pointing out that you're talking about how one kid always ends up doing all the work. On that Iceland report, I mean, Tony Anita Hull did almost all the work.
No, she didn't. Tony.
Bonnie brought her jokes.
See, that's
Bonnie
why
did
you
what?
need name tags. It's Bonnie.
Bonnie brought jokes, the Icelandic jokes.
No, did we not take a bunch of facts and then go over them and go, okay, you do this, I'll do that. Like, I had things.
Yeah,
and
here's
we
my
split
point,
'em
Bonnie.
up.
Here's my point. Where did that bunch of facts come from? Did the fact fairy drop them off in your house?
No, I had some, but we already know each other. I didn't have to deal with Peggy Glutz out of the blue, who maybe didn't even speak, didn't even lift a book, was just there going, yeah, okay, I'll meet you at 7, but I'm not going to show up.
Peggy Glutz?
Wow. Peggy Glutz was a dick.
Yeah, Peggy Glutz, by the way, I was, I watched the credits to Breaking Bad every night, and Peggy Glutz is an executive producer on Breaking Bad.
That's what I always say. A team player is Peggy Glutz.
Yeah, she worked her way up because she was also on she was she was a line producer on Orange is the New Black. So, oh my God, look her up, Tony. Have you Googled Peggy Glutz yet?
I'm
Jeez,
actually
she's
Googling it right now.
Of course
she's
you are.
all over show business. She's
Okay,
amazing.
wait, let me just ask all of you guys something. Did you ever have a good group report experience? Like you look back and you go, "Oh yeah, that was that was really good. I remember that one."
Yeah,
Yeah.
Really?
Tony.
No, I hate group projects. I hate group projects. I agree with the captain on this.
Well, then let's take the two people who hate group projects and have them present their group project to us.
Well, Adam, I think you mischaracterized. I just want to come to Bonnie's defense here. I think you mischaracterized her participation in the Iceland project.
Okay.
Because Tony volunteered this in a private conversation with me that although Bonnie didn't bring a lot of facts or research, she provided the umbrella during the whole Iceland project.
Well, I mean, I guess everybody did their part. I withdraw that. All right, so you ladies who hate your group reports, come give us your report about the North Pole.
Okay, great. Are you ready,
So
Bonnie?
without further ado, here's
I
Bonnie
am.
Burns and Tony Anita
No,
Hall with
we
the Hull
planned
Burns
this out.
report.
I
Oh, they
I just
planned
wanted to
they
make sure
planned
you're
it out.
ready. I know I start. I know I.
No, I'm ready.
And okay, I just want to make sure you're ready.
Here. Welcome
Go
to
ahead.
our report on the North Pole
I
by
hate this.
Bonnie Burns and Tony Anita Hall. And I would now like to turn things over to my partner, Tony Anita Hall.
Oh, that was well done.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bonnie. So there are a lot of different North Poles. This is what I feel like we discovered together. So, first of all, I'm going to talk about the geographic North Pole, which is the northernmost point on the planet, and it's where the Earth's axis intersects with its surface. And so its latitude is 90 degrees north, and all lines of longitude meet at the geographic North Pole. And from there, every direction any direction you turn, you're always going south, which is kind of wild, which makes
So if you're
sense.
standing at the North
yeah.
Pole and you ask somebody how to get somewhere, they can only tell you to head south.
South, yes, which
Yeah.
I never
Oh,
thought about.
That would be
Well,
good
that's
for me because
really
I couldn't fuck it up. So all these lines of latitude, is that what you said? The lines of latitude?
All the lines of longitude meet.
My
at the
mistake.
North Pole.
All the lines of longitude meet at the North Pole, and I assume they laugh at Trump behind his back.
Sure they do.
That's what happens at most
implied.
at most global meetings now. Yeah.
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 Okay, so Tony, we've got that one. If you put a stick through the planet, the North Pole is the stick through which it rotates, around which it rotates.
Yes, exactly. And because all lines of longitude begin from it, the North Pole has no time zone. Think about that. That's crazy.
What do you mean no time zone?
Wow.
I
So what
don't
time is
understand what
it?
it means.
So what time is it at the North Pole? And the answer is yes.
Exactly.
Is it yes o'clock?
Correct.
It's yes o'clock at all times.
So meaning there's no time there?
There's no time zone because it's at that's the top. So like where time is it there?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
I would guess, and this is just a guess, that if you're at the North Pole and you want to know what time it is, I would guess everybody there uses something like Greenwich Mean Time or Eastern Standard Time.
Sure. We'll go with that.
Okay. All right, fine. All right, tell us about the other North Poles.
There's also the magnetic North Pole, which
Aha.
this I find
Wow.
confusing. And Adam, you might be able, this sounds like something you could explain better than I can. So the magnetic North Pole is not the same as the true North. It's several hundreds of miles south of the geographic North Pole. Earth's iron core movement within its outer part generates a magnetic field. And the magnetic north and south poles are where the field is vertical. So compasses actually point to the magnetic North Pole, not the geographic North Pole.
I think you explained it perfectly. I mean, it's absolutely true. I think it's somewhere in Canadian territory or something. And
Yeah.
if you are standing anywhere north of there, your compass is going to point south.
Yes, that is correct.
I think my compass is going to point anywhere I hold it.
Right, because you're talking about the compass that we use in high school geometry, right?
I don't know about you, but I'm in charge of my compass. You got to take charge of your compass. Compass head. Remember when Bernie Sanders... Compass head. When Bernie Sanders used to call you compass head? Oh, my God, I loved that.
So that was my
Me
favorite.
too.
My favorite thing about the Bernie Sanders visits to our show. I miss him. I miss being called
I
compass
wish he
head.
would come back. I agree. Bernie,
Well,
do you
yeah.
want to come pay a little visit while we're doing
We'll
our
have to-
report?
We'll have to... he's busy now. He's,
Oh.
he's got a lot
All
of...
right, so Tony, there's more North Poles.
Yeah, but I'm going to put a pin in the other North Pole for now, and I'm going to pass it to Bonnie to talk about the
Oh,
weather in the North
okay.
Pole.
Well, can I just say I really got excited about the North Pole. It was actually my idea to do the North Pole because
It was.
Did you do this a lot on your group projects in school? Did you go, it was my idea to do this?
take credit.
Because that's not really germane. And then after
know-
that, probably a lot of the others didn't want to work with you. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's true. And it's
Yeah.
not supposed to be
Yeah,
a
this was my
particularly-
idea, Peggy Faults, you bitch.
It's not supposed to be a particularly good quality in a person to take credit for things. So,
No, that's, I'm sure, what your group told you.
yeah, exactly. Let me push them to the back. I'll push Tony to the back. Okay, because I had read somewhere that actually people lived in the on the North Pole, but as it turns out, no one lives there. And the reason is that the ice is constantly moving, so it makes it impossible to establish a permanent community. And the people who live the closest nearby are the Inuit people.
Yep, Inuit.
Inuit.
Yeah, who live in the Arctic regions of Canada, Greenland, and Russia. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the weather at the North Pole.
Oh, good.
Okay, well, here you go. So they only have one sunrise and one sunset every year. The sunrise is in March and the sunset is in September. And there's sunlight all day in the summer and it's always dark in the winter. The average temperature in the summer is 32, and in the winter, the average temperature is 40 below zero.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's cold.
And even with that, the North Pole is warmer than the South Pole. Do you want to take a guess why?
Oh. The North Pole is warm.
It's warmer than the South Pole? Is that
It
what you
is.
said?
I'm gonna go
even with
with-
those temperatures.
I'm going to
Why'd
go
you
with
say,
ocean
Adam?
currents. I'm going to go with the ocean currents. I don't know, though.
I know why it's, no.
Or
I know why
prevailing
it's-
winds.
I know why it's warmer in the North Pole than the South Pole, because the person who takes the temperature is mistakenly using a rectal thermometer.
Oh, that's totally possible. And by the way, the idea that Paula's rectal thermometer goes all the way down to negative 40 is a little surprising to me. That's one
Paula,
cold
you know
ass.
Yeah, you know the expression freezing my ass off? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly. Yeah.
That would be that.
You know, the thing
my
about the
God.
North Pole that you said, Bonnie, where you said that there was people didn't live up there. You know what's weird about that is that Trump is still trying to blow Santa Claus to get a Trump hotel up there. That's the weird thing about that.
Also, we let Bonnie just kind of bypass the just kind of go by the sentence. I had read that people lived at the North Pole.
Well, no, I thought I read that there was a real little town up there, but it turned out I was wrong. Okay, so
Okay.
No,
here's,
you know what? I think you might have
You
been
weren't
reading
wrong, but
Highlights
that's okay.
magazine. I think it was Highlights magazine, and I think they were talking about the elves, Bonnie. You got to
Yeah.
really check your sources. That's so important.
Absolutely.
Okay,
So wait, Bonnie,
here
I do want to know
is
the
why-
answer to your trivia question. Yeah, tell us.
Okay, here's why. Because let's see. Because the North Pole is over water and the South Pole is over land.
Oh, the continent of Antarctica makes it colder.
Oh, I see. I thought
about
it was
that?
because in the North Pole they grow candy canes. Bonnie, talk about that. It's. I can't believe you ever read that there were not people there. There are people there. They're
No,
little people.
that
They're
there was
they're
a
elves.
No.
Christmas town.
Well,
Bonnie, it's Christmas town.
no, I'm giving my report.
Yeah. All right.
You know what, Paula?
She's gonna
I'm
cry,
dealing with
Paula. Let her
real
finish her
science.
report.
I'm dealing with real science. Okay, here's some more information.
Yeah, go
By the
ahead.
way,
Give us some more.
I think you and Tony structured this report beautifully.
Thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
so
I
here's
like the way
thing.
you've left room for give and take with the listeners. I think that's good.
Okay, you can only travel to the North Pole by sea in June or July.
Yeah.
The rest of the time, you have to either get there by helicopter or plane in. Oh, wait a minute. Shit.
This is
Give me a
perfect for
second.
Tony, because Tony, you're going there on your cruise. Is that right? You're going there on your cruise in
well,
December.
Get into that.
So
I'm
that's
getting to that.
yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I think I do want to insert that you might be using slightly older data, because one of the things that's happening is that more and more you can travel kind of over the polar ice caps all year round thanks to climate change.
Well, that's what I was just going to get to, which is
Okay.
that it was that you could only travel there by sea in June or July. But the prediction now, because of climate change, there's so much ice melting. In fact, what they think is by 2050, the ice is going to be so thin that you'll actually be able to sail right over the North Pole, which is really horrible. And they've lost so much ice cover there that it equals the Mexico, the size of Mexico. That's how much ice they've lost up there.
They've lost a full Mexico of ice up there, is what you're saying.
It's the equivalent to losing a chunk of sea ice bigger than Mexico.
When did Mexico become a standardized form of measurement?
Yeah. And while we're at it, how many more Mexicos of ice are there up there?
I think they think.
You can say you don't know.
Okay, I don't know. I was looking at my figures. It doesn't bode well. Okay, that's
No.
Yeah.
that's the bottom line. All right.
That was really informative. Bonnie.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Now we have
Bonnie,
to
that
go
was
back
great.
to Tony.
This report is fantastic. Back to Tony. Tony?
Well, I'm going to talk about North Pole, Alaska, because
That's a place?
Alaska has a town. Yep, has a town called North Pole. It's a Christmas themed town. It has 2,117 people and is actually Republican leaning in the
Ooh.
North Pole.
Yeah, Santa wants a recount. That's how bad it's gotten.
Yeah. He wears red.
He does. Oh my gosh, mind blown.
Fake news! Fake news! Trump won easily. Deep state. state.
Yeah.
Ho, 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 they've been very naughty. Ho, 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 the deep state.
He used to try, Santa used to try to keep politics out of it, but he's just given up on that now. He's all in for the
Well,
Republicans.
if you think about it, even when you're bad, you get coal in your stocking.
Oh, good point. Yeah, good
Yeah,
point. So he's
you
really
don't get clean
dependent
energy.
on
You don't get a windmill.
No, he's dependent on the coal industry.
Big coal.
Yeah, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if and Santa was on the front lines of the war on Christmas. I wouldn't be surprised if say, one of the like Breyer retires or something from the Supreme Court if Trump didn't put Santa in on the Supreme Court.
He really could. He really might. And then
Yeah, because
good luck
no
for those
one
elves
would-
ever unionizing.
Yeah, and because no one would be willing to not, vote him in when they went to, approve of him or not. I mean, who's going to do that? Who wants to go on the record saying, I don't want Santa on the Supreme Court? Yeah.
Senator Booker wrote no on Santa Claus. This year, vote no on Senator Booker.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, Tony, I interrupted. I didn't mean
That's
to.
okay. No, please. The show is called Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. You should interrupt. Christmas-themed streets in North Pole, Alaska include Santa Claus Lane, St. Nicholas Drive, Snowman Lane, and Kris Kringle Drive. Streetlights in the city are decorated in a candy cane motif, and many
that's
local
nice.
businesses have similar decorations.
They must have
the
an
zip code-
astronomical suicide rate.
Oh,
What?
wow.
Because I
Wow.
know that I could last maybe a month there.
No, I like the sounds of this.
They have an all-female flat track roller derby league called the North
Wow.
Pole Babes in Toyland.
I like that. That sounds good.
And the
maybe
zip code-
maybe Milk Toast from Gremlins could join that team, and maybe it would perk her up around the holidays. Maybe she could forget about the smell of her dad's body decomposing in the chimney.
Yeah.
You can keep
So
going,
the
Goni.
zip code of this is why I hate group projects. The zip code in North Pole, Alaska is 99705. So they advertise it as the zip code of Santa. And if you send a letter addressed to 1 Santa Claus Lane in North Pole 99705, you might just get a letter back from the man himself.
Wow.
Wow.
Huh. 99705. What does that mean? Nothing. It doesn't have a significance, right?
It's a zip code.
All right, okay. I thought it was like no, like the zip code in the town I grew up in was 01776. So I thought it had that kind
really?
of symbolism. Yeah.
Oh, you guys got lucky. You see, people on the East Coast, when the zip codes were first giving out numbers, I think they had a little more leeway to choose. Once you get out to California where everything starts with a 9, there's a little less choice.
Yeah. Imagine coming from a town where it was 02020. Oh, that was a terrible zip code.
Tony, what else?
I'm good. That's it. That's the end of my portion about. I think
Bonnie,
that's the
do
end
you-
of our whole report. It's the end.
Well, I think I'm done too.
You ladies didn't really put a lot of thought into your conclusion of this report.
Well, no,
Yeah.
that's not true. You know what? F you. I did.
Whoa!
It ended with Santa's address. I said, if you send it to this address, you might get a letter back from the man himself. That was the fucking ending, Adam.
Oh, now I've ruined Christmas
Jeez.
again.
I've never heard Tony go off like that before. Oh my gosh. I bet you Tony didn't get a lot of see me's from her teachers.
No, they were terrified.
I want to say, Bonnie and Tony, the Burns Hull report on the North Pole was fantastic. It
Yes.
far exceeded my expectations. It was informative. I feel like I can't go to any cocktail parties now because of COVID, and of course I also don't drink. But I feel like I could make cocktail party conversation with anybody about the North Pole right now. And if I'm ever on a game show where you win money for answering questions about the North Pole, I'm going to be able to pay my rent. Honest to God.
And I want to add, I thought that was just fantastic. It definitely exceeded my expectations, too, which might have been originally somewhat lower than Paula's. But you guys did just a crack-up job on that report. All right, everybody, you can subscribe to this podcast. Just go ahead and do it, because then you'll get things like this in your inbox every week. If you want to enter our theme song contest or send us an email, do that at nobodylistenstopaulapoundstone@gmail.com. Once again, that's nobodylistenstopaulapoundstone@gmail.com. That's our show. Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone is hosted by Paula Poundstone and yours truly, Adam Santa Felber. Special thanks to our house band, Kristen Lejeune. Our show is produced by Paula Poundstone, Adam Felber, Bonnie Burns, Ken Lezebnik, and Tony Anita Hull. Mixing by Michael Hoagie. Starburns production by Land Romo. Transcription services for the show provided by Transcribe Me, a premier internationally used transcription service. Use code Paula Poundstone when placing your order at transcribeme.com to receive an expedited service.
There's so many Christmas movies on this year. Like, they made all these new television Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Lifetime Channel, Hallmark Channel, the Bleeding Fucking Heart Channel. And I caught one the other night. It was about where Mary and Joseph accidentally followed the wrong star on that night and ended up at Julia Roberts' house.
Uh-huh. That sounds great.
Yeah, that was the wrong. That was the wrong star that they followed.
I get it.
Yeah. It was called Joseph, Why Don't You Just Pull Over? That was the name of that movie. That's our show for tonight. Won't somebody please listen to me? What?
Oh, Paul.
Here comes Santa Claus.
Paula, do you hear that, Paula? It sounds like sleigh bells.
It does. That's not sleigh bells, Adam. You know what that is?
What's
my smartphone is set so that when we get an email at Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone, it dings, and so many people have been responding to the Iceland report that it just sounds like bells all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
No. Every time your email dings, Tony Anita Hull gets her wings.
Oh. Well, actually, Adam, Tony Anita Hull is an angel. She is an angel. And so she's already had her wings, Adam Felber.
Well, Merry Christmas, Mrs. Culpepper.
And a Merry Christmas to you, Adam Felber, and to the Who's in your house, and the Cratchit children. Because you're the Bob Cratchit of the Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. Would you like me to turn the heat up, Adam?
Yes, please. Please, if you don't mind, Mrs. Culpepper.
Starburns Audio.
A podcast network.